everyone, we're going to find the radius of convergence of the power series. We have the sum from n equals 1 to infinity of x to the power of n divided by n times the square root of n times 3 to the power of n. We're going to use the ratio test on this. I'm going to do condition 1 and set my limit to less than 1 to determine convergence, and then that's going to help me find the radius of convergence. So I'm going to write this out. I know you can't see it very well, so let's write this out. The limit as n approaches infinity, or gets larger and larger, and we have a sub n plus 1 divided by a sub n, absolute value of that. Now substituting everything in, we're going to get the limit as n approaches infinity of, and we only have to take the absolute value of our x. So this is going to be absolute value of x to the power of n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 times the square root of n plus 1 times 3 to the power of n plus 1. So that's this part. Now for dividing by a sub n, that just means we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of a sub n, and this is your a sub n. All right, so you're just going to copy that down. N times the square root of n times 3 to the power of n divided by absolute value of x to the power of n. All right, so let's take care of this piece right here. Let's simplify all this. So absolute value of x to the power of n plus 1 divided by absolute value of x to the nth power. That's just absolute value of x to the n power plus 1 minus n. So that just gives you absolute value of x. And then let's take care of the 3's. The same thing's going to happen with this. So if we have 3 to the nth power divided by 3 to the power of n plus 1, that's going to be 3 to the nth power minus n minus 1. So the n's cancel and you get 3 to the power of negative 1, and that equals 1/3. So just put a 3 here. So we took care of that. Now let's take care of our n's. So basically we have for that, this is to the first power, and this is going to be the limit as n approaches infinity of n divided by n plus 1. Now this right here is just going to be square root of n divided by square root of n plus 1. Now, this right here is just going to equal, let's do absolute value of x divided by 3. Take the limit as n approaches infinity. And this is just going to be, this part right here is going to be n divided by n plus 1 to the power of 3/2. Because basically what you have is n to the first power times n to the 1/2 power. So when you add these two powers up, 1 plus 1/2 is 3/2. Same thing happens for the denominator. Now, when you apply the limit, as this number gets larger and larger, this is just going to equal 1 divided by 1 to the 3/2 power. So this whole thing just equals 1. Therefore, we have absolute value of x divided by 3 times 1. Now, for this to be convergent, this has to be less than 1. Therefore, you cross multiply, and our absolute value of x is going to be less than 3. So this is convergent. For absolute value of x greater than 3, it's divergent. So your radius of convergence is going to be 3. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.